Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna. Yeah, I don't have a riddle, by the way. I will.
Oh, that's. I mean, it's been so long. I forgot that that's even a thing that we do.
Okay, forget I brought it up then.
Yeah, you brought up what? What are you talking about?
So, what's your thoughts on exorcisms?
What's my thought on exorcisms? They make really good movies. I'll give you that much.
Yeah, there's more than one, isn't there? By
Oh yeah, I mean like it's basically a whole subgenre.
it's a genre.
of
Oh
horror
yeah, it's a genre.
movies. Yeah, I mean, have you ever seen The Rite
No,
with Anthony Hopkins?
no.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, okay. It's one that I remember seeing in the cinemas when I was still in school and being like, oh, I'm so edgy. I'm gonna see a horror movie in the fucking cinema. I'm so cool. And I remember loving it, and then I was watching it again and I was like, this is kind of sick, but it's also kind of cringe at the same time, because I was remembering me going to see it in the cinema and being like shit scared, and I was like, it's alright. But yeah, it's a big exorcism movie, and that is one of like my soft spots for films, I think. Yeah, I love it.
Is it The Rite as in RITE?
That's the one. Yeah, it's got Anthony Hopkins in it.
Yeah, I feel like I can picture the cover of it, but no, I've
It's
never
on
seen it.
Netflix, by the way, if you can watch it afterwards.
Oh, I might actually watch that tonight because Gabby's gone out.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's good.
I watched two good movies last
Spooky
night.
times. Do tell.
I watched that fucking The Sound of Metal. Have you seen that?
It's about a drummer who loses his hearing or something, isn't it?
Yeah, with your man
Yeah,
Riz Ahmed.
I've seen like a trailer for it. I haven't actually watched it. Is it good?
It's so fucking good. It's so sad, man.
Oh hell yeah!
Like,
Oh no, is it a real thing? Like did this happen?
I can't remember. No, I don't think it is based on true events.
Okay.
But it's just like I can see why he won so many awards, or like he won an Academy Award for that performance. Because oh man, I was getting all these feels just because
Oh, all the feels.
having drummed, like obviously not to the extent that he did, but like we both play music, and
Mm-hmm.
like obviously, well, I don't anymore. I don't know if you do anymore, but if that had gone somewhere and like I don't know what it
Yeah.
was. It was just him reacting
Oh.
to stuff, and like you could tell he was losing his fucking mind over it, and it was just
Oh no.
it was so sad.
Oh dude. Okay.
Yeah, and
A grim one. Does it at least have some form of like redemption thing at the end, or does he just go deaf and he's just like, I'm fucked?
he
Spoilers for the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch it,
like.
skip forward like 10 seconds.
Do you want me to tell you like the little? Like, are you gonna watch it?
Yeah.
I recommend you watch it.
Okay. Oh no, fuck it. I'll just watch it at some point. Fuck it.
All I'll say is it's a happy-ish ending. Happy-ish.
Okay.
No, it is a
That's
happy
something.
ending.
Okay.
Ish.
That's something.
I don't know. I got invested
Ish.
in one of the subplots to it, which was like
Yeah.
the love story between him and the girl he was with.
Mm-hmm.
I got distracted with that, and like how it affected them, and like they were both going through their own shit. Like he's an ex heroin addict, and she saved his life, but he also saved her life because she used to cut herself and all this shit, and then
Oh Jesus.
shit goes down, and like yeah, it's just that part hit me pretty hard.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah,
Fair
absolutely recommend. If you have Prime, or if anyone in your house has Prime, it's on it.
We do have Prime. Yeah. I think that's how I know of it. I think just scroll past it and watch the trailer.
Absolutely watch it.
Sick.
And
A
then
nice one. What was the other one?
Imperium, which was
Imperium.
I'd never heard of it. I just saw it. It's Daniel Radcliffe is in it. Who, I'm sorry, he's a fucking terrible. He's a terrible actor. He's awful. He's so bad.
Oh man, all the Harry Potter fans are like frothing at the mouth right now, like trying to fucking like jump through the screens to strangle you.
He did fantastic in Harry Potter because he grew into that role and he couldn't do wrong. Okay,
Yeah.
kid actor, he was as good as you can expect from a child actor. You know what I mean? He did well.
Yeah.
But in other roles, he okay, maybe it was a specific role. He played an FBI agent undercover as a neo-Nazi.
Oh, okay. That's a weird. Okay, cool.
And
It's a cool premise. I like it.
it is like it's a very cool movie and very cool idea and story, but it's just I
Yeah.
was taken out of some of the scenes and emotions in the scenes just because he's so fucking bad at portraying certain feelings and stuff.
Are you sure you weren't just being like Harry Potter wouldn't act this way?
I did send
Harry would never do that.
there is one part when he's like sitting in a car and he has a skinhead and he's just like looks real sad and he has like
Okay.
dark bags under his eyes, and I sent a picture to Gabby and I was like, man, this new Harry Potter is real fucking weird.
Oh, hilarious.
But it's him, it's Tony Collette
Okay, yeah.
from Hereditary,
Yeah.
and I can't remember this other guy's names, but his eyes,
Mm-hmm.
you'll know him from his eyes. It looks like he wears mascara all the time, or like a guy liner.
Okay.
He's a really big
Yeah,
actor. I just can't remember his name. I need to
Fair
find out
enough.
now. But it's those three. It's a good movie, good like premise to a movie, but
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it.
Just
Watching
didn't do it for you. Yeah.
it. I like the movie. The main thing I took out of it was, or many times during the movie, I was like, "Oh, come on, Daniel, you can do better than that." I don't know.
Come on, Danny boy.
I don't know how the director didn't like pull him up, being like, "All right, I need more from you here."
I mean, I think the only other film that I've seen Daniel Radcliffe in was another horror movie, actually, The Woman in Black, which is fucking a phenomenal film. If you've seen it.
I think I have seen it.
Oh, it's so good. And it's also a like West End show, I think.
Huh.
I've been seeing ads for that on the tube, and I'm like, oh, hot damn, that's really cool. But yeah, I love that movie, and I think it's the only other Daniel Radcliffe film I've seen.
I don't remember. I don't remember being being that impressed with it, to be honest. But I can see. Yeah, no, maybe it's just certain roles. Maybe it's just Americans he can't play because his accent's really fucking bad.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure the Woman in Black is like he's a British guy and he has very little emotion, so that's probably why he comes off well.
Perfect role, perfect casting. Right
Perfect
there.
role, yeah.
I watched another movie with him in it called Guns Akimbo, which is just as stupid.
Oh yeah, I've been advertised that all the time on Prime, and I'm like, I keep stopping at it and being like, oh no, that just looks bad, and then keep scrolling on.
Yeah, it's just one of these real stupid movies, like.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Nestor Carbonell, that's your man's name. Do you recognize that name?
Nestor Carbona, what the fuck? Have you just put a spell on me? What the fuck is that?
Hang on, let me send a picture. You'll know what I mean by
Okay,
the guy liner look he has going on.
Giz it look Nestor. Isn't that the fucking guy from the Addams Family?
Nestor, yeah. Uncle Nestor.
Giz a look.
Boom.
Ooh.
He's a good looking man.
Oh, bro, this looks like an AI generated image. I don't think I've seen this guy before.
Wait, you've never seen this guy before?
I don't think so. No.
What's
He looks. Do you know what? He looks like a mixture of every like actor just smushed together like in an algorithm.
He does actually look like, yeah, some computer just made that up.
It's like one of those websites. Do you know the ones where it's like this person doesn't exist?
Oh yeah.
Have you seen them?
Yeah.
This is the vibes I'm getting.
He's in The Dark Knight. He's fucking.
He's in the Dark Knight.
I think he's a cop in The Dark Knight or
Is he
something.
the fucking Joker, man?
Did you, mate? What? Wait, what? You made me question it there. He's also in The Dark Knight Rises. I think he's just some shitty cop.
Is he? Is he like one of the police guys or a politician or something in it?
Politician sounds right. I think he might be like
Something like that.
mayor
right?
of New York or wants to be or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know.
some shit like that, mate. Oh, he's not fucking Harvey Dent in it, is he?
No, he's not.
Okay.
I can't remember that guy's name, but he's a good actor as well. But
Fair
yeah,
enough.
Imperium's pretty good if you're into that.
Sick. Nice one.
I've been really big on fucking like neo-Nazism. No, sorry, I'm really into the idea and movies and stuff of neo-Nazis.
What a way to start a conversation. Oh, hey, so there's this new thing I've been really getting into.
Hey, did you ever hear of Adolf Hitler?
Oh God!
It's
Oh,
this
he's
guy.
back
Yeah, he's
in Neo form.
back and better than ever.
Jesus Christ!
No, but it just
Fucking
fascinates me. That's why I'm watching
Fair enough.
a series called The Man in the High Castle as well, which is, I think I told you about it. It's based on this hypothetical
Yeah,
world if the Nazis won World War Two.
yeah. It's an adaptation of a Philip K. Dick novel.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, the guy who did the book behind Blade Runner and Total Recall and stuff. It's the same guy.
Okay, but I find it really fascinating. That whole era, like I just love all
I've
that
been meaning
stuff.
to watch it. Yeah, you're big into your World War II stuff. I remember that.
Yeah, World War Two, and I don't know. I just find the Nazis
Just fascism. It just gets
It
you.
just
you know?
gets me.
There's just
It
something about. I don't know what it
tickles
is.
my pickle in some way that nothing else does. I don't know what it is.
Jesus Christ.
But you know what? Actually, I was talking about guys I work with.
Do tell.
I'm sorry, but this is gonna sound really weird. But you can say whatever you want about the Nazis, okay?
Oh no.
But oh man,
Where's
were
this
their
fucking going?
uniforms fucking on fleek?
Yeah, their uniforms were literally Armani. Like that's where fucking Armani comes from. Is they made the fucking Nazi uniforms.
Was it not Boss or Klein?
Oh, maybe it was one of them. Yeah, I know it's a big name brand anyway. You might be right. It's one of them.
Nazi uniform. Man, their
They're
uniforms
still
are
going.
sick.
They're doing better than ever.
Uniform creative.
Hey, maybe if you write to them, they could fucking do you a little custom job.
Who's Hugo Boss? Oh my god.
Hugo Boss, that's the one.
Man, they look sick. Like,
Do you literally have a picture of like an SS guard up, and you're like, oh hell yeah, that's what you want to look like? Oh
no,
dude.
I never said I want to look like this. No, hang on. I just think they look sick, and like they used to wear these big long coats and stuff.
The coats, yeah,
They just look badass, and the black and everything.
And the like fucking skulls on their caps and shit. Yeah, it was fucking. That's what you want. Oh, dude.
Apparently, Hugo Boss, I think he came out and said he was forced to do it, or like they said, "Oh no, you need to do this for us." But
right,
like, if he was forced to do it, he probably would have did a bad job. Like he would have on purpose been like, "Ah, fuck these guys, I'm gonna make something shitty." But he made
something shit.
He did a pretty good job. So maybe I don't know, man. I don't know.
Oh, dude, this is going into this call. This is not where I thought we were going.
Okay, back to exorcisms.
Okay, full circle.
Full circle.
We've just gone from evil to evil. It's sorted.
Who made the Exorcism film? The original.
I have no idea. I don't know the actor's name, or not the actor, the director's name. I couldn't even tell you the actors. All I know is that it is a film in the 70s.
Director was William Friedkin.
Yeah, well, fuck, there we go. I have no idea who that is.
Who is... Oh, he's American. Okay. I thought his second name sounded German, and I was going to say, look, full circle, but never mind.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
I mean, it was in the 70s, maybe he kind of escaped a bit, just got the plane over.
Which one?
A few years later.
Him and Hugo Boss were best friends, I hear.
Keep going.
Okay, so the real life exorcisms, though.
Yes.
Would you
real
be...
life exorcisms?
Obviously, I don't think either of us are very religious. We grew up in a very Catholic country. But I feel like my parents were kind of... Like, my grandparents would have been very religious. And then
same.
My parents lost it a bit, and then I think our generation just lost it completely.
It's just chucked it away almost entirely. Yeah.
Unless you want to class TikTok as a religion, but
yeah, I mean, to some people, fair.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But exorcisms are just fucking the wildest thing. I don't know. Yeah. Why does exorcism, like, it only happens in the Catholic Church? I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I can't back this up, but I'm pretty sure there is some like tribal stuff is a thing as well.
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. You'd have to look into that more, but I've a gut feeling that there's more to it than just the Catholic Church. Yeah. There's definitely, like, when you watch films and stuff, it's all very much like the classic priest with his all his robes and shit.
Power of Christ compels you and all that jazz.
Yeah, exactly. Very much in the media sense, I think. Yeah, it's all very Catholic oriented, which kind of hits home when you watch it on the screen. Sometimes you're just like, oh yeah. Remember being told that as a kid?
Yeah.
Oh God, I don't know if you remember, but one of our religion teachers back in school,
Okay.
she got very scared one day when she heard that a group of like people in our school were messing with Ouija boards. And she like freaked the fuck out. She was like, "Your souls! You have to think of your souls. They will take you over. They will control you." And I was just sitting there being like, "Holy fuck, this is happening. I'm getting told this right now by an adult. Fuck."
It sounds like that. Just I don't want to fucking talk shit about any religion, but that kind of reaction and behavior literally points in the direction of brainwashing. Like this person has been brainwashed, or I guess it's not brainwashing if you're from that side of it. You're just kind of you have a belief.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's someone messing with a board, a piece of cardboard.
Oh, dude,
is enough.
It was so weird
for someone to lose their mind and be like, okay,
to go nuts.
Yeah,
like she was really genuine, like scared. She was worried.
Have you ever used a Ouija board? I used it one time in school, and this teacher went wild at me.
No, I haven't actually. Have
no,
you?
Me neither.
I don't think I've ever even seen one.
I've seen one before, but
no way. Where?
Well, like I'm pretty sure someone brought one into work before as a joke, but they didn't like use it or anything. I think they had it in for Halloween or something. But
oh, cool.
I'd love to try it, but I'd need to do it with people that I know aren't gonna fuck with me or fuck with anyone.
Aren't gonna fuck with you
because
you're right.
There's always that one dick who's just gonna be like pushing it around or whatever.
Yeah. I think that's just a thing. Like you get a group of people, one person is gonna be predisposed to do it.
Yeah, that's why you can do one on your own, right? Like, or is it a rule that you need to have more than one person there?
I don't know. I'm just going off films here, but I've definitely seen a film where one person does it on their own. So
yeah, I just feel like I wonder if there's any rules to it in the church.
I don't know.
I suppose not
Probably,
the church. Religious people wouldn't be doing Ouija boards.
The occult side of things. Yeah.
One day I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at 3 a.m. That's the hour, isn't it? That's the witching hour or something.
That's the spooky hour. That's when you have you seen all those videos online where it's like, I called the boss baby at 3 a.m. He answered and shit like that. 3 a.m. is the time when to get shit done, man.
It really is. That was a big clickbait on YouTube for so long. They were like,
for a long time.
I opened this dark web box at 3 a.m. and
at 3 a.m.
Shrek broke into my house or something. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
But
so good though. What a time.
Yeah. So exorcisms obviously date back to a long time ago.
Yes.
But there was one guy. Did you ever hear of a guy called? Oh fuck! Do I have him in my notes? What's his name? It's like something Martin from Kerry.
Oh no, man.
He has a mad first name.
Miho.
Close enough. It begins with an M. Fuck, what's his name? Kerry Exorcist Priest. Malachi Martin.
Malachi. Oh, why does that strike a... Go on.
He was a priest from Kerry who moved to the States, New York, I think, and he became famous in the States for being an exorcist priest.
Sick.
I guess that's what you call it. And there's...
Yeah.
Apparently he had a Netflix special come out about him, like a documentary kind of thing.
Oh, I have seen this. I didn't know he was from Kerry, though.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
Hostage
I've
to the Devil.
That. Yeah, I've seen that.
I haven't actually seen it, but yeah, he's from Kerry, County Kerry.
Oh, no way. Sick.
Do you remember being any good? Because I might actually have to
if it's the one that I remember watching, it's like he's very much trying to show that it's oh no, sorry, I think I'm confusing this with the director of The Exorcist. because he does a very similar thing where he goes around looking at exorcisms.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's I think I'm getting mixed up with the two of them, but anyway, that's also a good one. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Go on. I'm getting twisted and turned here.
Yeah, no, I looked up about this Kerry Martin guy, and like apparently he was pretty fucking famous in America, and no one knew that he was from Ireland, because
Oh yeah.
he was in the church, and then he left to become a writer or something, and that's how he became big then. And he told the stories. Oh, here we go. This is the one I was looking at. I've smelt the breath of Satan, it's called. Which is kind of cool.
Jesus.
Exorcism can be extremely violent. I've seen objects hurled around rooms by the powers of evil. I've smelt the breath of Satan and heard the demon's voice. Cold, scratchy, dead voices carrying messages of hatred.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
He was born in County Kerry in 1921. One of 10 children, which is just the norm back in the day.
As you do.
He was first educated at Ballylongford National School, Dublin's Belvedere College, and then UCD Dublin. So he was well educated in Dublin anyway.
Sick.
The Jesuit priesthood took him to Rome in the 60s, but in 64 he requested a release from his vows.
Oh.
He actually, which is kind of funny, he left because he felt that many in the church, including his own order, which were the Jesuits, were more interested in power than saving souls. So he thought there was too much of a hierarchy, and he was like, everyone just wants to climb that fucking hierarchy. I'm like, yeah. Maybe he left for the reasons that he was told not to talk about as well, but we won't get into that.
Oh, sick.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into that. I didn't do too much on him. I just read through one little article, and I just found that interesting that he was from Kerry. And
I found the film, by the way, that I was talking about. It's called The Devil and Father Are Morth. So it's a very similar one to the one that you're talking about. It's essentially they follow around exorcist guy who's been around for ages, and they film the exorcisms. I think there's going to be overlap between the two.
Ah, okay, yeah. I'm sure there's many films based on either from that movie or from any of Maliki's stuff. I'm pretty sure The Exorcist, or not the main one, but like, what's that other one with? Banner. No, not Banner. Bruce Banner. Hulk.
Bruce Willis.
Bruce Willis, yes. Fuck.
Oh man, I'd watch a fucking exorcism movie with Bruce Willis screaming at demons. That'd be sick.
I'd want him to be the demon.
Imagine a big bald Bruce Willis just shouting at some poor possessed girl. That'd be great.
Yeah, apparently he's a dickhead in real life. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I have heard that actually, yes.
Which is, it makes sense, I suppose. He's very charming on screen, but I can see it. I can definitely see it.
Yeah.
What is the name? The original Hulk with Eric Bana, not Banner, Eric Bana.
Oh, Bana. Oh, yeah.
Banana. He's in a movie called
Banana.
Deliver Us from Evil, which is about
Oh, yeah, I've seen that as well.
Exorcism. Exorcist. Spanish guy comes in, very fucking hot priest comes in and exorcises some demons.
Sick.
Okay, let me get into this fucking story because it's a long ass story.
Story time. I hope you got your music ready.
I do. So
sick.
I found this story on the line, and I only read through the first bit of it, but I was intrigued.
Cool.
I
don't know why, but sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know why, but I'm already kind of getting scared. Like, I don't know if you saw on the camera, but I just checked over my shoulder and I just realized, why the fuck did I do that? You haven't said anything yet. Why am I scared?
Let's go.
There it
With
is.
That. No, I won't start the music yet. It's about a lady called Latoya Ammons. I don't know if you've ever heard that name.
I have not.
I also have not read all of this, so, and it's from an
We're
article.
experiencing it together.
Yeah, it's an article from a lady called Marissa Kwiatkowski.
Mm-hmm.
It was written in 2014, I think it was, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pretty recent.
Recent enough, yeah.
Recent. Oh, sorry. Actually, before I get into that, did you ever hear there was one in London,
Ooh.
and it's actually pretty
Close to
fucked, because his whole family were on trial for murder.
Oh, sick. That is...
Well, not really.
Ooh, spooky. So this is like a real thing that happened?
Yeah. So
Oh, Christ.
a guy called Kennedy Ife died after suffering a cardiac arrest at home in Barnet, which is in London.
Yeah.
A church minister who visited a possessed, in inverted comma or quotas, possessed man 2 days before he was allegedly killed by his family in a botched exorcism, said he looked like he had a fever, a court has heard. Kennedy Ife's parents and brothers misguidedly believed he was possessed by evil spirits and set about curing him with prayer and restraint, jurors were told. They allegedly used cable ties, rope and handcuffs to restrain the 26-year-old at home in Enfield, North London, in the days before his death from cardiac arrest.
Jesus.
His parents, Kenneth and Josephine, and 5 brothers are on trial accused of manslaughter. Sorry, not murder, manslaughter.
Yeah.
A church volunteer at Jesus Sanctuary Ministries prayed for Kennedy at the house along with 2 other ministers known as Brother Peter. Yeah, whatever. I won't give names. He told the court, "When I arrived at church, I was informed that we had been instructed to attend the address of this guy Kennedy to pray for him. They arrived at the house at 10:59 p.m. One of the brothers opened the door and they were ushered into the living room. They saw the guy who died laying on the couch, basically, and he had his phone in his hand, and he seemed to be typing something on his phone. He said he looked unwell when he looked him directly in the eye, but there was no signs of restraint. So this guy is basically saying whatever you've been told about restraints is not true, because this guy was just sitting, laying there.
Okay.
Basically, this whole family were very religious, and when this guy Kennedy Ife started showing signs of like fever, and apparently there's talks of him being mentally ill in some way. So when they saw signs of that, they immediately went to the church rather than get medical help.
Right. Okay.
So they just decided to pray for him rather than calling like a doctor or anything, which is a bit messed up, to be honest.
Pretty grim.
Because he ended up having a heart attack.
Jeez.
There was another thing that apparently the father, they watched them all round the clock, basically, and the father had told the brothers use any means necessary and any force necessary to restrain him, which is questionable.
Jesus.
Yeah, and they tried to exorcise the demon from him, basically.
Yeah.
It's very like behind closed doors. You only really have like second or third hand accounts or whatever you call it. So it's
of course.
But apparently they were all found innocent, I think.
Oh, right.
I think.
So they were accused, but they weren't ever charged.
They were accused of manslaughter, false imprisonment, and causing or allowing the death of a vulnerable adult in 2016.
Jesus. In 2016? That's so recent.
Yeah. So this article I'm reading was
when you were
written in 2019, and at the end of it says the trial continues, but I think I've heard they were
God.
Whatever you call acquitted of all charges. Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, like when you were telling the story, I was like picturing like a 70s family, something like that, but fucking 2016, bro. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
That is nuts.
It's the power of religion. Like, it really is.
Tis, man.
But anyway, LaToya Ammons, another recent story, okay?
Oh, this is recent too. How recent are we talking?
It starts with a date, so I'll start the music and let's get into it.
Spooky.
Is that okay? Is that too loud? Or is that fine?
No, that's pretty good, man.
Okay. In November 2011, Ammons' family moved into a rental house on Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana, a quiet street lined with small one-story homes. Suddenly, big black flies swarmed their screened-in porch in December, despite the winter chill. This is not normal, Ammons' mother Rosa Campbell remembers thinking. We killed them and killed them and killed them, but they kept coming back. There were other strange happenings too. After midnight, Campbell and Ammons both said they occasionally heard the steady clump of footsteps climbing the basement stairs, and the creak of the door opening between the basement and the kitchen. But no one was there. Even after they locked the door, the noise continued. Campbell said she awoke one night and saw a shadowy figure of a man pacing her living room. She leaped out of bed to investigate and found large wet boot prints. On March 10th, 2012, Campbell said the family's unease turned to fear. That's just a little intro. And does anything like pop out to you there?
Does anything pop out to me?
So something.
Not initially. I was getting myself. I sat back in the chair, put the headphones on, was getting into the vibe. You know, I was lost in the magic in the story.
I won't keep us away from her too long. But one thing is the flies.
Okay.
So they apparently had like swarms and swarms of flies latch onto their porch,
onto their door. Yeah.
Which we know to be a sign of a devil-ish figure in a game we play.
Uh-huh. That is true.
So
I was actually thinking that, yeah.
Signs of the devil, maybe?
Oh, cool.
It was about 2 a.m. Normally, Campbell, Ammons and her children would have been asleep, but they were mourning the death of a loved one with a group of friends. Ammons, who was in Campbell's bedroom, startled everyone by screaming for her mother. Campbell ran into her bedroom, where her then 12-year-old granddaughter and a friend were staying. Ammons and Campbell said the 12-year-old was levitating above the bed, unconscious. According to their accounts of events, Ammons and several others surrounded the girl praying. Campbell said that she remembers being terrified. I thought, what's going on? Why is this happening? Campbell questioned. Eventually, Campbell said her granddaughter descended onto the bed. The girl woke up with no memory of what happened. According to Campbell and Ammons, the people who were visiting that night refused to return. I'm going to mention these names a lot, but so it's Latoya Ammons. Her mother is Rosa Campbell. And then Latoya Ammons' daughter is also mentioned in the story. But
okay, cool.
I don't think they mention a name. So I think it's like a grandmother, a mother, and the daughter living in the house.
Okay, cool. I'm getting the vibe. You've painted the picture.
Okay. Campbell says she remembers telling her daughter, "We need help. We need to talk to someone who knows how to deal with it." Campbell and Ammons said they didn't know exactly what it was, but they believed it was something supernatural. They called local churches, but most refused to listen. Eventually, after listening to Campbell and Ammons talk about the house and visiting it, officials at one church told them the Carolina Street house had spirits in it. They recommended the family clean the home with bleach and ammonia, then use oil to draw crosses on every door and window. At the church's suggestion, Ammons said she poured olive oil on her 3 children's hands and feet. Sorry, 3 children, not just one.
Okay. I'm just trying to picture this house, by the way. Like, it's fucking covered in bleach and ammonia, and like you've got little kids running around like slipping and sliding on the floors covered in olive oil. Like,
yeah, they slip and slide
into doors, smashing windows open. Probably.
Man, I'd be running and sliding on my belly on the ground and everything.
Yeah, and you'd be helping. You'd be getting the spirits away.
Yeah,
that sounds great. I want spirits. I want to get lathered up in olive oil.
Fucking olive oil bath. I'll take it. It's meant to be good for your skin.
Sorry, go on. I'm sure it is. Good for your skin, bad for the spirit.
Okay. At the church's suggestion, Ammon said she poured olive oil on her 3 children's hands and feet, then smeared oil in the shape of crosses on their foreheads.
Slip and slide.
Yeah.
I'm a slip and slide.
Campbell and Ammons also told the Star they reached out to two clairvoyants, who said the family's home was besieged by more than 200 demons. Their explanation made sense to Campbell and Ammons, they say, because it meshed with their Christian faith. The best thing you can do is move, Ammons remembers the clairvoyants telling her, but moving wasn't an option for the castrapped family. Instead, Ammons said she took a clairvoyant's advice and made an altar in the basement. Ammons covered an end table with a white sheet, then placed a white candle and statue of Mary, Joseph and Jesus on it. She opened a Bible to Psalm 91. She said she and another person donned white t-shirts and wound white scarves around their heads. Also, on a clairvoyant's advice, they burned sage and sulphur throughout the house, starting upstairs and working their way down. Smoke was so thick they could hardly breathe. Nice.
So again, I'm just getting a picture of this place. They've got sulfur, like this place stinks of fucking rotten eggs. Got kids sliding around. There's ammonia on the walls. They get ammonia all over the place. The fucking wallpaper's peeling off. Like, this is... I mean, yeah, they're not moving out of this house because there's nowhere they're selling it.
If I walked into that house and all this was going on, I would absolutely think there was demons everywhere.
Yeah, right? Absolutely. Yeah, sulfur, that's like... People associate that with hell, right? Like fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
Sulfur smell. What?
People, yeah.
What? I love
right.
this. This is fantastic.
Right. Ammons drew a cross with the smoke. The person she was with read Psalm 91 aloud as they moved through the house. You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. Ammon said nothing odd happened for 3 days. Then things got worse. The family said demons possessed Ammons and her children, then ages 7, 9 and 12. The kids' eyes bulged, evil smiles crossed their faces, and their voices deepened every time it happened, Campbell and Ammon said. Campbell said the demons didn't affect her because she was born with protection from evil. She said she and others like her have a guardian who protects them. Ammon said she felt weak, lightheaded and warm when she was possessed. Her body shook, and she said she felt out of control. You can tell it's different, something supernatural. The youngest boy, then 7, sat in a closet talking to a boy that no one else could see. The other boy was describing what it felt like to be killed. Campbell said the 7-year-old once flew out of the bedroom as if he'd been thrown, and a headboard once smacked into Ammons' daughter, causing a wound that needed stitches. The 12-year-old would later tell mental health professionals that she sometimes felt as if she were being choked and held down, so she couldn't speak or move. She said she heard a voice say she'd never see her family again and wouldn't live another 20 minutes. Some nights were so bad the family slept at a hotel. Finally, in desperation, they went to their family physician, Dr. Jeffrey Onyekwu. It's a very hard name to pronounce, I'm sorry.
It's alright.
On April 19th, 2012, Ammon said she told him what they were going through, hoping he might understand. Onyekwu told the Star it was bizarre. 20 years, and I've never heard anything like that in my life, he said. I was scared myself when I walked into the room. He said he would not speak in more detail unless Ammons had psychiatric clearance for the waiver of confidentiality she had signed. In his medical notes about the visit, Onyekwu wrote, delusions of ghost in home and hallucinations. He also wrote, history of ghost at home and delusional. What Ammons and Campbell say happened next also was detailed in a DCS report of a family case manager's interviews with medical staff. Chaos erupted. Okay, let me just catch up here.
Cool.
So, I'm trying to remember what DCS report is. I remember I had it. DCS.
Domestic security contact. I don't know.
Report child abuse. It's a child abuse report.
Oh shit, okay. Ooh, fair enough.
Mandated reporters, mosquitoes their names. Other people. Wait, hang on. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Click here for DCS guidance. Click here for DCS. Wait, why is it? Okay, the first like few Google thingies are.
Is it domestic social care, something like that?
Yes. Made to the DCS. State law requires DCS to protect the identity of those reporting. Yeah, it's child abuse and neglect, basically.
Fair.
Hotline. So,
Cool.
There was a DCS report made by a case manager's interviews with medical staff. So this Dr. Onyukwu, wrote in his notes saying they're delusional and they've hallucinations and stuff like that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it goes on to for him to separately. Sure, we'll get back into it. I'm just trying to catch up because there was a lot of information there.
There is a lot of information. I also just typed DCS into Google, and the first thing that came up was digital combat simulator, and there's a lot of pictures of like planes blowing the shit out of each other. So it's definitely not that.
Shit, yes. Oh, I want to play this. Is it on Steam? It is Steam.
I was just gonna say, is this a streaming? Hey, it gets like 5-star ratings.
DCS World Steam Edition on Steam. Okay. Add it to the basket. Campbell said Ammons' sons cursed Onyukwu in demonic voices, raging at him. Medical staff said the youngest boy was lifted and thrown into the wall with nobody touching him, according to a DCS report. The boys abruptly passed out and wouldn't come to, Campbell added. She cradled one boy in her arms. Ammons held the other. Someone from the doctor's office called 911. Onyukwu said 7 or 8 police officers and multiple ambulances showed up. They couldn't figure out exactly what was happening, he recalled. Police and emergency personnel took the boys to Methodist Hospital's campus in Gary. Amma said hospital personnel laughed at her desire to anoint her sons in olive oil. I couldn't talk to them, she said, so I talked to God. The boys woke up in the hospital. The older boy, then 9, acted rationally, but the youngest screamed and thrashed, Campbell said. She said it took 5 men to hold him down. Meanwhile, someone called DCS and asked the agency to investigate Ammons for possible child abuse or neglect. The caller, who is not named in the DCS report, speculated that Ammons might have a mental illness. The person believed the children were performing for Ammons, and she was encouraging their behaviour. DCS family case manager Valerie Washington was asked to handle the initial investigation. She gave the following account to police and in her intake officer's report. Hospital personnel examined Ammons and her children and found them to be healthy and free of marks or bruises. A hospital psychiatrist evaluated Ammons and determined she was of sound mind. Washington interviewed the family in the hospital. While she spoke with Ammons, the 7-year-old boy started growling with his teeth showing. His eyes rolled back in his head. The boy locked his hands around his older brother's throat and refused to let go until adults pried his hands open. Later that evening, Washington and registered nurse Willie Lee Walker, what a name.
What a name.
It sounds like a country singer, but anyway, Willie Lee Walker, who's a nurse, brought the 2 boys into a small exam room for an interview. Campbell joined them. The 7-year-old stared into his brother's eyes and began to growl again. "It's time to die," the boy said in a deep, unnatural voice. "I will kill you." While the youngest boy spoke, the older brother started headbutting Campbell in the stomach. Campbell grabbed her grandson's hands and started praying. What happened next would rattle the witnesses, and to some it would offer not only evidence but proof of paranormal activity. According to Washington's original DCS report, an account corroborated by Walker, the nurse, the 9-year-old had a weird grin and walked backward up a wall to the ceiling. He then flipped over Campbell, landing on his feet. He never let go of his grandmother's hand. He walked up the wall, flipped over her, and stood there, Walker told us there. There's no way he could have done that. Later, police asked Washington whether the boy had run up the wall as though performing an acrobatic trick. No, Washington told him. She said the boy glided backward on the floor, wall and ceiling, according to a police report. Washington did not respond to the star's request for comment. She told police she was scared when it happened and ran out of the room. As for Walker, Washington said he ran out the room with me. We didn't know what was going on, Walker told the Star. That was crazy. I was like, everybody gotta go. According to Washington's report, they told the doctor what happened. The doctor, who did not believe them, asked the boy to walk up the wall again. Walker said he told the doctor he doubted the boy could repeat the feat. This kid was not himself when he did that, Walker said. The boy said he didn't remember what happened and couldn't do it, according to Washington's report. Walker, who said he previously believed in demons and spirits, thought the boy's behaviour had some demonic spirit to it, but also was a result of a mental illness. A police report quoted Washington, saying she believed there could be an evil influence affecting the family. Ammons said she spent the night at the hospital with her 7-year-old son, while Campbell took Ammons' daughter and older son to a relative's home in Gary. The next day was Ammons' youngest son's 8th birthday. Ammons said DCS officials asked Campbell to bring the older children back to the hospital, presumably to talk more about what happened. The family celebrated the boy's birthday by singing and eating a miniature cake. Then, Ammons said Washington told them the children wouldn't be going home. DCS took the emergency step of taking custody of the children without a court order. All of the children were experiencing spiritual and emotional distress, Washington wrote in the DCS form. Ammons told the Star she and her children cried because they didn't want to be separated. We'd already been through so much and fought so hard for our lives, she recalled. It was obvious we were a team and we were beating it, whatever we were fighting. We made it through together as a team, and they separated us. Okay, it's taking a bit of a sad turn here.
It started off all kind of cool and spooky, and now I'm just feeling sad.
Yeah, so they're basically whatever's happening to this family, they're putting it down to mental illness in the mother and abuse of the children, basically. So I think they said when the kids were like growling and stuff, they assumed the mother had put them up to it and encouraged it, basically.
Encouraged it. Yeah, they're basically doing it for her almost.
Which, for someone who wouldn't believe in the demonic possession, like basically you see it in movies all the time, someone talks about it, there's always someone who's like, what the fuck are you talking about, that's stupid.
Yeah, always.
Which is definitely going to be like someone with a medical background, I guess, if someone but then again the nurse is very your man Walker, the nurse, was very into demons and spirits, it says. But actually, so it says Walker, who said he previously believed in demons and spirits, thought the boy's behavior had some demonic spirit to it, but also was a result of a mental illness. So there is that to it as well.
Match.
Okay, this is when the religion comes into it, so we'll get back in. I'll go back to this music. The Reverend Michael Maginot, it could be French, could be Maginot, but I'm going to say Maginot. No,
probably
Maginot. Maginot sounds good.
Probably Maginot, yeah.
Okay, Michael Maginot
Nice.
was leading Bible study in his living room the morning of April 20th, 2012. So this is like a week or something later, I think, or maybe a month. I can't remember. Same year anyway. So he's leading Bible study in his living room the morning of April 20th, 2012, when he received a call from a hospital chaplain. Maginot, I really don't know how to say his fucking name. What do you?
Roll with that. It's probably right.
Okay, it's Maginot.
That's how I'd say it. I don't think I'd say Maginot.
Okay, yes.
Probably Maginot, yeah.
Maginot had been the priest at St. Stephen Martyr Parish in Merrillville for more than 10 years, but had never received a request like this one. The chaplain asked him to perform an exorcism on Ammons' 9-year-old son. Maginot agreed to interview the family after Sunday Mass a few days later. The first step, Maginot said, was ruling out natural causes for what Ammons and her family said they were experiencing.
He visited Ammons and Campbell in the Carolina Street home, April 22nd, 2012. For 2 hours, Ammons and Campbell detailed the phenomena for him. Then, Campbell interrupted the interview to point out a flickering bathroom light. The flickering stopped each time Maginot walked over to investigate, which he attributed to a demonic presence. It must be scared of me, he later told the Star. He had thought. The interview was interrupted again when Campbell pointed out Venetian blinds in the kitchen swinging even though there was no air current. Maginot said he also saw wet footprints throughout the living room. Ammons complained about having a headache. Maginot said she convulsed when he placed a crucifix against her head. After a 4-hour interview, Maginot said he was convinced the family was being tormented by demons. He said he also believed there were ghosts in the house. Maginot blessed the house before he left, praying, reading from the Bible and sprinkling holy water in each room. He told Ammons and Campbell to leave because it wasn't safe. They temporarily moved in with a relative. But less than a week later, the two women were back on Carolina Street to let Washington, the DCS family case manager, check the condition of the home. Washington asked a Lake County police officer to come with her. 2 other officers, one each from Gary and Hammond police departments, asked to join them out of a professional courtesy. Ammons refused to go inside, but Campbell agreed to accompany the group. Ammons' kids still were in DCS custody. The main floor had 3 bedrooms, a living room, 1 bathroom, hardwood floors and a small open-style kitchen. A door in the kitchen led to a basement with concrete floors. Directly under the stairs was a dirt floor. The concrete around it was jagged, as though it had been broken. The makeshift altar Ammons had created was still in place, along with rings of salt she had poured against the basement walls to dissuade the demons, according to a Hammond Police Department report. Campbell told officers that demons seemed to emanate from beneath the stairs. Austin, the Gary police captain, was one of those officers. He later told the Star he believed in ghosts and the supernatural, but said he didn't believe in demons. Austin said he changed his mind after visiting the Carolina Street house. During the interview with Campbell, one of the officer's audio recorders malfunctioned, according to Austin and Hammond police records. The power light flashed to indicate the batteries were dying, even though the officers had placed fresh batteries in the recorder earlier that day. Another officer recorded audio, and when he played it back later, heard an unknown voice whisper, "Hey," according to Lake County police records.
Sorry for laughing, but I just picture they're playing it back and it's just, "Hey, little mama, let me whisper."
Hey, psst, hey, hey, psst. Nice.
Oh, sorry, go on.
Okay.
I've ruined it.
That officer also took photos of the house. In one photo of the basement stairs, there was a cloudy white image in the upper right-hand corner. When an officer enlarged the photo, that cloud appeared to resemble a face, Lake County police records state. The enlargement also revealed a second green image the police say looked like a female. Austin said photos he snapped with his iPhone also seemed to have strange silhouettes in them. The radio in his police issued Ford malfunctioned on the way home. He could have just sent in his police car, but anyway. Later, Austin said the garage at his Gary home refused to open even though the power was on everywhere else. Austin said the driver's seat in his personal 2005 Infiniti also started moving backward and forward on its own. He said he had the car checked at a dealership and the mechanic told him the motor on the driver's seat was broken, which the mechanic said could have caused a distraction leading to an accident. Austin said he found himself starting to believe Ammons' claims of paranormal activity, but the mental health professionals evaluating Ammons and her children remained skeptical. So they've got a priest on their side, and now they're getting the police captain on their side as well.
Yeah.
But you still have the health professionals, mental health professionals, skeptical,
who are like,
and
fucking bullshit,
and the DCS case manager skeptical.
Yeah.
Because obviously They're just worried about
3
the
out of
children.
5. Mhm.
I'd say the mental health professionals, well, yeah, obviously they're going to think of their way of thinking. They're going to think of mental health issues before they think about paranormal issues. But to have the police on your side is a good thing, because they're going to, people will listen to them. In April
Spooked.
2012, DCS petitioned Lake Juvenile Court for temporary wardship of the 3 children. The request was granted. DCS found that Ammons neglected her children's education by not having them in school regularly. The agency made the same finding in 2009, its records show. Ammons told Washington there were times she could not send the kids to school because the spirits would make them sick or they would be up all night without sleep. DCS temporarily placed her daughter and older son at St. Joseph's Carmelite Home in East Chicago. Ammons' youngest son was sent to Christian Haven in Wheatfield for a psychiatric evaluation. Clinical psychologist Stacy Wright, who evaluated Ammons' youngest son, said the boy tended to act possessed when he was challenged, redirected, or asked questions he didn't want to answer. In her evaluation, Wright wrote that he seemed coherent and logical except when he talked about demons. It was then that the 8-year-old's stories became bizarre, fragmented, and illogical, Wright said. His stories changed each time he told them. He also changed the subject, quizzing Wright on math problems and asking her about outer space. Can you die if you go to space? He asked. How do you get to space? Do you have to wear a helmet and suit? Wright believed the 8-year-old did not suffer from a true psychotic disorder. This appears to be an unfortunate and sad case of a child who has been induced into a delusional system, perpetuated by his mother and potentially reinforced by other relatives, she wrote in her psychological evaluation. Clinical psychologist Joel Schwartz, who evaluated Ammons' daughter and older son, came to a similar conclusion. There also appears to be a need to assess the extent to which Ammons' daughter may have been unduly influenced by her mother's concerns that the family was exposed to paranormal experiences, Schwartz wrote. Ammons' daughter told Schwartz that she saw shadowy figures in the Carolina Street home. She also said she twice went into trances. Ammons' older son told Schwartz that doors would slam and stuff started moving around. Ammons also was examined several times by psychologists who said she was guarded but did not seem to be experiencing symptoms of psychosis or thought disorder. One psychologist recommended Ammons be assessed to determine whether her religiosity may be masking underlying delusional ideations or perceptual disturbances. Ammons and all 3 kids continued to insist they were possessed by demons. DCS set goals for the family. One of them stipulated that the children not discuss demons and being possessed and take responsibility for their actions. They also needed to participate in therapy to address past behavior. While DCS officials credited Ammons for sharing a close bond with her children, the agency also said she needed to use alternate forms of discipline not directly related to religion and demon possession, according to the DCS's case plan. Appropriate discipline included encouragement, rules, and withholding privileges. She could work on those goals during supervised visits with the children. Ammons also had to find a job and appropriate housing due to the paranormal activity at the house on Carolina Street. While Ammons worked on meeting those objectives, police and DCS officials continued to investigate strange happenings in the house. Okay, so it's... Let me just recap here. Yeah, the group is a bit larger this time. So this is basically the DCS is outlining their case plan.
Yeah.
So they've separated the older and the younger... the older son and the daughter are in one place, and the little fella is in a different place. They've gone under psychiatric tests, and reports have been written to say they don't seem that mentally ill or psychologically ill or anything. So, and then the same thing for the mother. Like, there's no signs of psychosis or anything, but they do talk a lot about demons and religion and stuff.
Yeah.
So the DCS are giving her a chance, and they're saying, look, work on these things and you may get your children back.
Mm-hmm.
which is looking up for her, basically.
Nice.
Okay. But the police and the DCS officials were still investigating strange happenings in the house. Fair enough. Okay.
Mhm.
I think it takes a bit of a turn here. Let's go. The group was a bit larger this time. Campbell, Ammons, Austin, and the 2 other police officers from the initial visit went back to the Carolina Street home on the afternoon of May 10th, 2012. The police officers visited after work hours. They were joined by Maginot, 2 Lake County officers with a police dog, and DCS family case manager Samantha Illick. Illick, who was there in an official capacity, told the Star she volunteered to go in Washington's place because Washington didn't want to go back to the house. A county officer took his police dog around the home, but the dog didn't show interest in any particular area, according to the Lake County police records. Everyone else headed into the basement. Illick touched some strange liquid she saw dripping in the basement and said it felt slippery yet sticky between her fingers. Probably the olive oil that's been fucking milled around this house.
It's been laced all. It's a mixture of olive oil, bleach. Like
Yeah.
her hands are probably just like withering away, just like fucking the bleach getting through her bones. She's like, this is weird.
Yeah, so like I'm not too I don't care about this liquid. They might make it seem like it's weird, but like the amount of olive oil this lady must have fucking sprinkled everywhere in her house, and the kids were running around with it all over their feet and hands.
Yeah.
I'm not that surprised. Maginot told police he wanted to check the dirt under the stairs for a pentagram or personal objects that might have been cursed. He said a pentagram might indicate a demonic presence and possible portal to hell, according to a Lake County police report. Or if someone had died in the house and was buried under the stairs, it could explain paranormal activity, Maginot added. One of the police officers dug a 4-foot by 3-foot hole beneath the stairs, unearthing a pink press-on fingernail. A white pair of panties, a political shirt pin, a lid for a small cooking pan, socks with the bottoms cut off below the ankles, candy wrappers, and a heavy metal object that looked like a weight from a drapery cord, police records state. Finding nothing else, the officer replaced the dirt and raked over it. Wait, hang on. They're not gonna... I mean, I think that's pretty weird that there's stuff buried fucking 4 feet underneath the stairs of the basement.
I'd say that's really weird as well. This sounds like something that like someone has been murdered and they've just like chucked all of their possessions under their house, right? That's what immediately comes to my mind. That's kind of
anything, yeah, because it's a load of like separate, like really random items. So it seems like it could have been like all the things that may have had evidence on it or DNA or something. So like a press-on fingernail, a pair of panties, a shirt pin, a lid for a small cooking pan, murder weapon. Socks with the bottoms cut off. Yeah. What the fuck? Okay.
What the fuck?
They're just like, oh yeah, it's fine.
All of these things are definitely just like a murdered woman's stuff that has been chucked away. What the fuck?
A drapery cord as well. Fuck.
Oh, dude.
All right. I guess they just thought it was nothing. Let's continue.
That's all right. Don't worry. Listen, don't worry about it, man.
It's like, nope, no demons here. Maginot blessed some salt, which he said is a barrier to evil, and spread it under the stairs throughout the basement. Illick said she was later standing in the living room with the rest of the group when her left pinky finger started to tingle and whiten. She complained it felt broken. Less than 10 minutes later, Illick said she felt as if she was having a panic attack. She couldn't breathe, so she walked outside to wait for the group. When the priest started questioning Ammons inside the house, she complained of a headache and shoulder pain, according to police records. She joined Illick outside. Austin said he left the house at nightfall. Austin, who has been shot at and has investigated murders, rapes and armed robberies during his more than 3 decades on the force, said he wasn't staying in the house past dark. The other officers continued to walk through the home. On the main floor they noticed an oil-like substance dripping from Venetian blinds in the bedroom.
Olive oil, maybe.
I don't think it's an oil-like substance. I think it's oil.
It's just fucking olive oil.
But couldn't figure out where it was coming from, police records state. To make sure Campbell or Ammons hadn't poured oil in the blinds, two of the officers used paper towels to clean it off. The officers sealed the room for 25 minutes and stood nearby so no one could walk in. When they went back in, the oil had reappeared, according to police records. It's the olive oil monster.
It's the olive oil, dude. Yeah.
Maginot told police the liquid was a manifestation of a paranormal or demonic presence. He wrote a report detailing his findings and asked Bishop Dale Melchek's permission to perform an exorcism on Ammons. Oh shit. Straight in. Maginot said Melchek had never authorized an exorcism in 21 years as bishop of the Diocese of Gary. Debbie Bosak, Director of Communications for the Diocese, I think?
Yeah, one of those.
For the diocese, said she cannot comment on whether Melchek has ever approved an exorcism for confidentiality reasons. In general, she said, such an action would require a bishop's approval. Melchek initially denied Maginot's request to do a church-sanctioned exorcism, Maginot said. The bishop told Maginot to contact other priests who have performed exorcisms. Maginot said he needed other priests to give him the ritual for a minor exorcism, which does not require church approval. The priests he consulted told him to look it up on the internet. Nice.
Nice.
He said he did an intense blessing on the Carolina Street home to expel bad spirits. That same day, Maginot performed a minor exorcism on Ammons. The ritual consisted of prayers, statements, and appeals to cast out demons. 2 police officers and Illick, the DCS family case manager, attended the ritual. Illick said she left believing that something was going on, although she wouldn't go as far as saying it was demonic. She said she got chills during the nearly 2-hour rite. We felt like someone was in the room with you, someone breathing down your neck. Illick said she had a string of medical problems after visiting the home. A week after she visited the house for the first time, Illick said she got 3rd-degree burns from a motorcycle. Within 30 days, she also broke 3 ribs jet skiing, broke a hand when she hit a table, then broke an ankle running in flip-flops. Sounds like all her issues.
It sounds like she just fucking punched the table and then was stupid running in flip-flops.
Yeah, who runs in
You
flip-flops?
deserve that.
I've watched someone break their ankle in flip-flops before, trying to walk
Yeah,
downstairs.
right. Don't blame Satan on this. Blame yourself. Come on.
I had friends who wouldn't talk to me because they believed that something had attached itself to me, Alex said. Her joking response, I'm already evil. They tried to find something that's not evil and corrupted. They wouldn't waste their time on me. That's okay. It's kind of weird for a DCS case manager to say, haha, I'm already evil. Like, okay, get it?
Yeah, that's kind of psychotic.
Okay, here we go.
Here it is.
Maginot said Melchek... Oh, fuck, wait, hang on, my bad. After the minor ritual, Maginot told Ammons to look up the names of demons that were tormenting her. Each demon has a name and personality, Maginot said. A name has power, the priest added, and he explained to use those names to fight the demons during exorcisms. Ammons said she and her friend looked up the demons' names online by searching for demons that represented the problems the family had been having. The computer kept shutting down. She said she felt sick, lightheaded. But she said they found names that fit. One such name was Beelzebub, Lord of the Flies, Ammon said. She said they also found names of demons that torture and hurt kids, which she felt explained what happened in the Carolina Street house. Ammon said other high-ranking demons also were assigned to her, including lieutenants and sergeants. Oh shit, they've got a whole hierarchy of demons.
Yeah, man.
After the minor rite, Maginot and Bishop Melchek gave him permission to exorcise Ammons. Maginot said Bishop Melchek gave him permission. The ritual is the same as the minor exorcism, but more powerful because it has the backing of the Catholic Church, Maginot said. Maginot ultimately performed 3 major exorcisms on Ammons, 2 in English and the last one in Latin in June 2012 at his Merrillville church. During each, Maginot said he praised God and condemned the devil. He pressed the crucifix against Ammons' head as he spoke.
I cast you out, please.
Maginot said his voice continued to get louder and more forceful until the demon weakened. He said he could tell how strong the demon was by how much Ammons convulsed. 2 police officers, who had kept in touch with Maginot since the home investigation, stood nearby in case Ammons needed to be restrained. Ammon said she prayed with Maginot until it became too painful. She said she felt as if something inside her was trying to hold on and inflict pain at the same time. She said it was different from a natural pain, but felt as intense as giving birth. I was hurting all over from the inside out, she remembered. I'm trying to do my best and be strong. Eventually, Maginot said Ammons fell asleep. She said that was the demon's way of lessening this ritual's effect. In between the second and third exorcisms, Maginot said he went on a retreat. A woman who assisted Maginot with some of the exorcisms helped set up a backup plan in case Ammons had problems with Maginot, while Maginot was gone. The woman wrote a long demon name. Maginot said he can't remember which one it was, on a piece of paper and tucked it in an envelope. Then she surrounded it with blessed salt. If Ammons had problems, the woman would burn the envelope, Maginot said. By this time, Ammons and her mother had moved to Indianapolis, but they drove back for the exorcisms and court hearings as her children were still in DCS's care. Maginot said he blessed the family's new home to prevent more problems. But Ammons called while Maginot was on his retreat, complaining of bad dreams, so the woman burned the envelope. She saved the ashes to burn later in a church bonfire. After that, Ammons said her nightmares ended. In the final exorcism, at the end of June 2012, Maginot said he prayed and berated the demons in Latin rather than English. Police officers did not attend, so Maginot said his brother stood guard. Maginot said Ammons convulsed while he condemned the demons, but did not convulse during prayer. When she fell asleep, he said words of thanksgiving. It would be the last time Ammons saw Maginot. She and her mother drove back to Indianapolis, where they say they now live without fear. Ammons' old home on Carolina Street became an object of local curiosity, so much so that the owner and landlord, Charles Reed, called the Gary Police Department to ask officers to stop driving by the house because it was scaring his new tenant.
Pussy.
He said there were no problems in the home before or after Ammons and her family lived there. I thought I heard it all, said Reed, who's been a landlord for 33 years. This was a new one to me. My belief system has a hard time jumping over that bridge. When told of the Catholic Church's involvement in the situation, however, Reed said that made him less skeptical. Ammons regained custody over 3 children in November 2012, about 6 months after they'd been removed. DCS continued to check in on the children and make sure they were going to school until the case was closed last February. Last February of the time this article was written, I assume.
Yeah.
Ammons called her children's return the happiest day of her life. She said they screamed and jumped up and down when she picked them up from the DCS office in Gary. It was just awesome, Ammons said. I hadn't been that happy in God knows long. The children say they felt safe after they left the house on Carolina Street. The family said the 3 left their demonic voices and complaints behind them. No demonic presences or spirits in the home, DCS family case manager Christina Olenek wrote in team meeting notes dated January 10, 2013. She did not return calls from the star seeking comment. The family is no longer fixated solely on religion to explain or cope with the children's behavior issues, Olenek and her supervisor wrote in a request for dismissal of wardship in 2013. For her part, Ammons said it was not the psychologist who resolved her problems, but God. When you hear something like this, she said, don't assume it's not real, because I've lived it. I know it's real. And that's it.
Nice.
That's the story of LaToya Ammons.
Nice one.
And the
very,
boys.
Very spooky. And the boys, the LaToya
The
Ammons
olive oil
and
boys.
the countless demon boys.
Yeah. The olive oil demon.
Nice. Jamie, have you ever seen any of those videos of possession or anything like that on YouTube and stuff? You ever seen them?
I think I may have randomly watched 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Real ones. Well, supposedly real ones.
Supposedly real ones, yeah. Yeah.
So are you a believer now?
I think Yeah, well, I mean, I think I've seen a video of a possession before on YouTube anyway.
Mm.
It's quite believable.
It is.
So do you know, back in like, I think it was 2014, 2016 or whatever, that pop group, Little Minx. Do you remember them?
Little who?
I think they were called Little Mix.
Oh, Little Mix.
That
Yeah,
was
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. And they're all at an interview, right? And one of them is asked to do a
Jamaican accent.
and-
I fucking
and she
know it
just
so
goes-
well.
She just stops for a second. She goes, "Malignant." That was a demon. There's no way that was a human being.
Man, I thought you'd never bring this up because I've thought that for years. Malignant.
Damn. That she just spoke the demon's name, and then
She
it
did.
and then it left.
Well,
I'm
maybe
convinced.
maybe that was the demon. What you call it? Like communicating. Maybe it's still in her.
Yeah.
Are they still going? Is she
Maybe.
dead?
I don't know. Maybe.
Little Mix. Maybe. I mean, the day that that demon Malignant leaves her is the day that she can't sing anymore. Is what I think. She loses
Yeah,
her
she made a
singing voice.
pact. She made a pact with Malignant.
Malignant.
That's how she can only sing. But thank you for that, Jamie. That was a very interesting story. Spooky. I must
Yeah,
say.
I love how they just kind of flew through the exorcism part. They didn't go into much detail there, but I don't think this reporter got much detail off the Maginot or
yeah.
anyone. They just got like
Yeah. Little
uh,
snippets.
a little report from them.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting though.
Twas indeed. Yeah.
Uh,
But it's mad that again that was quite so relatively recent. Like I always pick whenever I hear possession, my brain goes to like the 70s or the 80s.
Yeah.
Like you never think about it now.
I believe that they believed it was real.
I believe. Oh yeah, totally. I don't think that anyone's
Making anything up, like
making this up for clout or anything. I think, yeah, that's a big part of it. Like they very much believe it, right?
yeah, and I don't know. I don't think because the fact that like this reporter has brought in like so many names, especially of police officers and captains.
Yeah.
It's a bit strange if like any of that was fake or that the
Exactly.
police officers never actually said something like that because the reporter would be fucked.
Yeah.
It's interesting that doctors,
Yeah, you got all the boys.
nurses and police officers were all there and they all corroborate the stories.
Yeah.
It is a bit strange that the police officers weren't at the next exorcism.
Ooh.
And-
yeah, I thought that as well. That was a bit weird.
Maginot brought in his fucking beefy brother, by the sounds of it, to hold her
Yeah,
down
and
himself.
He brought out the A game. He brought out the Latin.
The big guns.
Yeah. Nice one.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm gonna go watch some exorcism videos now.
You should. Yeah, you should. Have a few on YouTube and then just watch the movie The Rite. It's very cool. You actually really like it because the whole story is it's a priest goes to the Vatican to learn how to do exorcisms, and he's having a conflict of faith, and he's like, I don't really believe this, but I'm gonna do some exorcisms anyway.
I think I only added this to my list recently, you know.
You should watch
'Cause-
it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. I think I'll watch that tonight. Is it spooky? Or is it
Nice
more
one.
like interesting?
The first half of it is just cool. It's just like interesting and like they're running around the Vatican and stuff, and then the rest of it's all the spooky stuff.
Just while we're on the thing of movies, have you ever heard of a short film called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons?
Oh no, I haven't.
It's only a half hour. It's on YouTube. I recommend you watched it. It's fucked
Yeah,
up.
cool. Give me a link and I'll get back to you next week.
Yeah, it's yeah, and if anyone listens to this, watch it, but go in knowing it's fucked up. It's from the creator of Midsummer and Hereditary,
Yeah, those are great.
but it's his.
Sick.
It's like a short he did years ago. It's very interesting.
Lovely.
Not interesting. It's fucked up.
Nice one. I'll give that a watch, so I'll get back to you. Hell
Alright.
yeah.
And that
Alright,
is
mate.
this mine.
Nice.